Welcome all to the Weekly Outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. If you get anything out of these videos, please hit the like button, share and subscribe. Onto the Weekly Outlook. DXY on the daily. Nothing's changed. I was sort of looking to see if this was going to go and break that top. It looks like it's going to fall over here, and this is the end of this ABC here. So I'm looking for that ABC down now, down to this 100 fib. And we'll see what happens with the price action around this 100 fib, if it breaks through or we get another one up here. On the H4, we had these 5 down in here, ugly looking correction, and we got a nice impulse down here now. So you just wait for a correction next week, and then you look for that sell on the lower time frames. AU, nothing's changed on the daily. Looking for this C up in here. It's finally going on the H4. We had the 5 up, and then we had this larger correction. This was quite difficult to get in because this was the low here. We got that nice impulse up, but then it comes straight back down. So that gave us a very difficult entry to get in. Now you're pretty much waiting for a correction. Yeah, it's very difficult. Like last week, it's very, if you're not in this already, it's going to be difficult to get in. We already have overall bearish divergence on the H4, so it gets very risky if you're not already in it. And like last week, we already had bearish divergence on the H1. We were looking at this last week to buy. GU, it's just about up to that 100 fib now. So we're looking at that A, B, C up to this 100 fib. We'll see what happens around this 100 fib. And like I've mentioned, this may be an A, B, and we get an extended wave C up to this 100 fib. So we've got to see if price action bounces off of this 100 fib or keeps on going up to the larger 100 fib. You really need to wait for a buy setup. It's getting very close to this 100 fib. So ideally you get a little correction in here on the lower time frames, and you could look to buy up to that 100 fib. You'll have to watch price action around this 100 fib here, because it could fall over from here, or like I mentioned, keep on going up to the other 100 fib up here. So yeah, all you can really do is wait for a correction and then look to buy. Ideally on the H1, you start to get a correction in here, and ideally you get some sort of a bull hidden in here, and then a bullish setup to buy up to that first target. EU on the daily, nothing's really changed on this either. Sort of was looking for this flat in here, a possible flat, for that to go and break the low. It's already broken the ending point of this wave A here in this wave C down, so we can look at it as complete, or we can look at it as this C up here gives us 5 up in here up to that 100 fib. So that's what I'll be looking for. I'll be looking for a buy similar to GU. We got a nice impulse from a low, so just wait for that correction and then look for your buy setup to buy. NU, nothing's changed on this as either. You know, I'm looking for that A, B, this C up in here, up to that first target. I am still on this right down in here. I put out this trading view idea a long time ago. 15th of April, this NU buy up to this first target. It's slowly going, but yeah. So I am still on this down in here. I was looking to buy again. It's not really giving a nice setup though, on the lower time frames in here to buy. We got the 5 up like many of the other pairs, major pairs, and we got like correction down. A nice impulse up, but it comes straight back down, and it's quite choppy in here. So it has been quite difficult to get in. It's really, it's going to be very difficult to get in. We got a nice impulse up, we got an impulse down, impulse up, impulse down, and we're getting another impulse up in here. So at this stage, I don't really see where the correction is. I mean, this looks like the choppiest wave so far, so we may get some sort of an A, B, C in here before we get an A, B, C. It's going to be very difficult to get in because of what the price action is giving us. I would be looking for the buy, but yeah, nothing really solid on it to buy, unfortunately. GY on the daily, like I've been mentioning for a long time, you know, we've got that bearish divergence. I'm only looking for sells. We do have a nice red candle here, or a couple of red candles on the daily. But again, we're still going to be very careful, because, you know, we got a bull hidden in here. We're getting a bull hidden. So ideally, we really want to see this come down, break that low here, and then give us a correction, and then look for the sell, ideally, to take out that possible bull hidden. So this is going to be quite difficult again. At this stage, it's a sell. We're looking for a sell. We got the bearish divergence. We got a nice impulse down, and I'm looking for a sell. I'll be looking at some sort of an A, B, C here, and then an A, B, C. Get another one up here. Then if you get a sell set up on the lower time frames, I'd be looking for at least an A, B, C. And UY is very similar. UY on the daily, it's kept on going, like I've mentioned. Overall, I'm still looking at this A. All this is a B, and we get this C down overall, but it's just kept on going. Only looking for sells. This wasn't the high. We had the high over here, so I don't really like this one. I like GY a little bit better because that come from the top. But yeah, you'd be looking for like a WXY and X2, and then you'd be looking to trade that wave Z down for next week. USD CAD, very tricky on the daily, has been for a very long time. Ever since we didn't get this wave Z up here, up to the first and the second target, this has been very difficult to trade. This is a large correction, so it can really go either way. Like we can get one down in here, or it could go from here. So there is no real clear direction. This has been very difficult to trade for a very long time, and pretty much I just stay out of it. I just leave it alone. we have a look here in the last section here, we got an A, B, C up in here. Then we got like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in here. A correction, a 3, 3, 3 correction. So this may be complete here. This correction here for another one up, and that's the way I'm sort of looking at it, but it's not really going with the other majors. During this week, earlier on this week, I was looking for a correction in here just for an A, B, C up and then possibly another one down. Now this has definitely turned into a correction. We got like an A, a B, we got a C up in here, or an A, B, we're getting a C up now as a running or expanding flat, and then I wouldn't be surprised if we get like an A, B, C in here, more downside. And after that, if you get bullish divergence, you know, between this low and this low, you could then start to look for a buy. But at this stage, I'd be very cautious in buying this in this correction. For this wave up in here, I'd be very cautious in buying that, because it may just come and break that top and fall over for an expanding flat, or it may not even break this top over here, and it's a running flat and fall over on you. So you have to be careful buying. The Swissy, this is one of the better pairs I like to trade. If you followed me for any time, you'd probably know that. We got a nice impulse up. I'm looking for a B wave in here, and then I'll load up for that wave C. On the H4, I was sort of looking for another one down. It's been very messy in here. I'm looking for that like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. It's very choppy in here. There was a sell on it, and really, if you're not on that, you're pretty much staying out. This was the sell here. We had that 1, 2, 3 up in here, and we've already got 1, 2, 3 down. I believe we may even have bullish divergence in here. No, we don't. So yeah, this is going to be quite difficult to trade. I'd really be looking on the lower time frames. This is why you got to be very careful, because we do have a possible bear hidden in here. So this can either be very deep to this move here, or the hidden divergence plays out and breaks a low. Ideally, I would like to see this break that low, and then look for a buy setup. That's pretty much how I'll be playing it. I'll wait for this to break that low, give us bullish divergence, and then, you know, I can start to buy, even if it's like just for an A, B, C up. You know, I can look for that buy in here, and if I'm lucky, it goes for me. But at this stage, I'd just be looking at a correction for more downside, pretty much. I wouldn't be selling it in here unless you had a really good, you know, setup to sell. I wouldn't really be selling. I'd be waiting for this low here to be broken and then look for a buy at this particular stage. EG, this is quite good on the daily. We're at a low, you know, we're at a low, and we've got all this bullish divergence. So I'm looking for buys. Well, we got that A, B, extended wave C down. We got that like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. So we're just looking for buys. The H4, it has come down and broke the low again. So we're getting a little bit more bullish divergence in here. This, we got 3 up in here for a sell. You know, it's completed now. I'm only looking for buys on this, like I have been for a very long time. I'm only looking for buys. Unfortunately, they haven't been going. Well, this one here. I got in on this, and it just turned into a C up. But wherever this wave ends, as soon as you start to get buy setups, I'd be looking for that first buy setup and yeah, holding it for long term. WTI. Looking at that, well, this is looking more like the A, B, C here, and then we get an A, B, C before we get the larger A, B, C, like I've been showing for a very long time now. We've been looking for that buy, and well, we got that nice impulse up, and like I've been saying, I'm waiting for a correction in here, and then I'll look for a buy for at least an A, B, C. It has started to correct. I would be looking for another one down in here, looking for 3 down, and then I'll start to look for the buy. So on the H1, we just got a nice impulse down, and we sort of got a B wave here. We can look at a C down. This still may turn more complex, and we get like an A, B, C in here as your flat, and then you get an A, B, C up in here before you get that larger A, B, C down. But I'd be trying to get into this larger C down. Just go down to the M15 for a tick because this is important. Like I mentioned, this may be a flat in here, A, B, C. We sort of have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up in here, so that's fine on the lower time frames. We've got a nice sharp move down in here. If we get a buy set up in here, you can buy it. We have a bull hidden here. So there's nothing to say that this won't go up and break that top. You definitely want to be at it's only a scalp this buy. If you're looking to buy this, it's only a scalp to break that top, and then you'll be looking for a sell for the largest C down, that A, B, C. Take a quick look at gold. Gold's finally going. It took a long time to go. This was very difficult to get in. It was like AU, very difficult to get in this. It stayed around here for a very long time. But overall, on the daily, it's pretty well. Excuse me. It's playing out how I was looking at it. That WXY, X2, and we get that Z up to the first, or the first and the second target. But like I mentioned, it was very difficult to get in. I would have really liked this one here to go and break that low. Like I mentioned at the time, we were looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. It didn't quite go and break the low, this one. Silver went and broke the low, so I've been saying, silver's a better looking one to trade. But this one here, we got like 1, 2, 3. You'd be waiting for a wave 4, and then you look for that wave 5 up. So at this stage, I'd be waiting for a correction. If I just put these on here, so you can see the correction I'm looking at. This is why it was so difficult, because of this very deep correction here. It did give a buy setup over here. If you've missed that, you pretty much missed the trade. You got to wait for the 1, 2, 3. You wait for that wave 4, and then you trade that wave 5 up. Silver played out a lot nicer. We're looking for that wave Z up on this one as well. On the daily, we're looking for that WXY, the X2, and we get that wave Z up. This one played out a lot nicer, like at the time, during the weekly outlook. We're up here somewhere, and I was looking for this one to go and break that low with that bear hidden. That played out, unlike gold. Gold didn't quite go and break this low, whereas silver did. So we got all that bullish divergence. Then we got this nice impulse up. So if we get a buy set up in here, you definitely can look for a buy. We are starting to get some sort of a correction. We got an impulse down. I'd be looking at that as a B wave and a C down. Then you get A, B, and a C up, or it may turn motive for you. But this one's looking a lot better. I can't really show you exactly the way we trade, but yeah, we're looking for this in here to buy on the M15 and even the lower time frames, which I can't go into, give too much away how we trade. Bitcoin's been very difficult. It was looking really good. We had that time factor here. It started to go, but never went up to our targets, unfortunately. So we got that WXY, X2, and we didn't get that wave Z up breaking the top. Instead, this has turned into a larger correction. Ever since that happened, pretty much have to stay out of it or you're just scalping. More than likely, this is all, well, it is. It's all this, whatever's happening in here is all corrective for more upside, but we've just got to work out what correction we got before we can start to trade it. And to me, it's incomplete. It's an incomplete correction. Sort of can look at some sort of an A, B, C in here as your flat, and then you get an A, B, C as a regular flat, for that A, B, C here, regular flat, before we go up to break the top. But yeah, I'm not really liking it just yet, and here's the reason why. You can see here we got, this was the sell here, that was fine. It went, but this here is looking very corrective as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we get more downside. So yeah, be very careful even buying and selling at this stage, because like I mentioned, this may be the end of a flat. This A, B, C may be the end of the flat here, but it's still looking very choppy on the lower time frame, so it still can give it more downside. So yeah, you got to be careful. And if you join my group, I teach you how to get into these trades with a very high probability of it playing out. Very high probability of it playing out. But I just simply can't go into it in this forum. S&P, we're just looking for sells, and it's kept on going. It's still going. We got the 5 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, extended wave 5. It's really kept on going. During that CPI news, we got that big drop in here, and this has come back straight back up. We got 3. Well, if you have a look on the lower time frame, we got 3 down in here. We had that 1, 2, 3, and then it's just gone up straight up and broken that top. It's going to be very choppy for a while. So you can scalp it, but yeah, you're gonna have to be very careful. At this stage, I dare say it is a sell. It's more on the M1 chart, but yeah, I'd be looking for, at this stage, I'd be looking for a correction in here and another one down for at least an A, B, C, and hope if you're lucky, it really falls over on you. But at these highs on the S&P, I'm only looking for sells like I have been for a very long time. It's getting too risky to buy for any amount of time anyway. This one's finally broken the AU 200. This is finally broken up above that 100 fib. We got that A, B, and we're getting this C up. Well, I had it complete over here. We got a nice bounce down off the 100 pip, that first target, and it sort of stayed around here. It's finally broken through now. More than likely there's more upside in it. But it's been very difficult to trade. As you can see, this is very choppy here. It's extremely choppy. There's no real clear correction here. Unless you're looking at, well, it's not even a triangle. So, yeah, very difficult to get in. I've just left it alone. But yeah. The FTSE, this is still looking very corrective in here. Sort of looking for that like WX extended wave Y in here, like an a WXY, X2 and a Z up in here. So we are looking for buys. It still hasn't really given us that time factor yet. It's giving all that bullish divergence, but this one's very difficult to get into because this is the low here. We had all the bullish divergence. We got a nice impulse up, sort of got 3 down, but it's very deep. This move here is very deep to this move. So it can just be a flat for like an A, B, C, and you get another one down. So you want a nice setup, especially when we're at these highs. You've got to be really careful when you're at highs of the market. It can fall over at any time. But it is more of a, at this stage, I'd be looking at a buy just to break that top, basically, because we sort of got 3 in here and a nice impulse up, 3 down. So I'll be looking to at least break that. Whether you want to get in over here, that's really risky. You really would have want to get in down here on the lower time frames to get this C up in here. I would be staying out of it at this stage. I wouldn't even be trading it. There's nothing really on it. The DAX on the daily, like we've been mentioning for a while, this has been looking very bullish. We had the bearish divergence here. Had that bearish divergence, but this has been very choppy. So ideally it does go and break that top, and then if we get a nice impulse down and a sell setup, definitely can start to look for a sell. But at this stage, again, you can't really jump on it now. And this is extremely difficult to trade as well. Extremely difficult to get in on stuff like this when it's so choppy. Yeah, I would have stayed out of it, but and I still would be staying out of this now. More than likely, this top will get broken. So if you go down onto the lower time frames, you may get a bull hidden in here to buy. You definitely want to be at break even at the break of this top. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. If you did, hit the like button, share and subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.